Well, as we start the wizard's turn in the hero phase, I'm going to go ahead and use my house rule that I'm experimenting with here, using a healing surge to activate a familiar voice. Draw the top card of the ally deck and place that ally's figure on your tile. My house rule sort of shows that I really only can have one ally per hero. That's just kind of a limitation I'm putting on there. So let's see which ally we get. Well, looks like some dwarves are helping us out here. We already had the dwarf cleric up there with the paladin, but now we've got dwarven defender. And interesting thing here, it says whenever you place a new dwarven defender figure, place one additional dwarven defender figure with it or adjacent to it. So we're going to have two of these guys stepping in to protect the wizard. Well, here are the dwarven defenders. Let's put them down there. We can place one over here and one over here, so we're kind of surrounding the owlbear. Well, our wizard here is going to turn, and our wizard doesn't like things up close and personal like this, so as a dragonborn, we're going to have the wizard use this daily power. You hurl draconic breath, engulfing your foes a short distance away. Well, we can attack this creature that's on our tile. This doesn't count as an attack, so we still get an attack action, which is nice. So perhaps as we're preparing to cast our next spell, the Dragonborn breathes out fire, I guess. +5 to the attack. And we need to hit an armor class of 14. Let's see if we can do it. That will do it. That's a roll totaling 16. So we start off by doing 1 damage to the owlbear, who has 3 hit points. Alright. We've done 1 point of damage. We have to take this hurled breath now and flip it over. It is used. We have 2 cards that are now flipped over for the Dragonborn. We flipped over the Wizard Eye. There was a question about the Wizard Eye, and does it remain on the board, and if it's remaining on the board for so long, why did you flip over the card? And just understand that this is played correctly. I researched this a long time ago, did a FAQ on it, and then even recently saw somebody on Board Game Geek, I think, confirm that they actually called customer service and asked the question from the company directly about this. This is being played correctly. So if the card is flipped back over, you could potentially cast this again, Wizard Eye, and place the Wizard Eye token on a tile within 1 tile of you. So your wizard may abandon the Wizard Eye and be moving up some other location. But then you want to bring it back, but your Wizard Eye is way over on the other side of the dungeon. So if your card's flipped over, and you've got the Wizard Eye back as a power again, well, you can activate it again, and the Wizard Eye will disappear from there and reactivate right on your tile, or within, within 1 tile of you. So you can kind of teleport it over to where you are now. So that's one way that you could get the Wizard Eye, and how you would use it if the card is refreshed and flipped back over. Well, we're still in the hero phase, and I think the wizard is going to try maybe the Ray of Frost here. Let's +7 to the attack roll. Let's see if we can hit this thing with a Ray of Frost. It will do 1 point of damage if it hits. I think we need a 7 or higher. And we got a 7. 7 + 7, 14. That does indeed hit the owlbear for an additional point of damage. Alright, we've done 2. Let's see what else we can do. I do have a ring of shooting stars, And I could shoot at the owlbear and it doesn't count as an attack. But I think I'm going to hang on to this for later. I'm hoping that perhaps these dwarven allies can, well, I hope they can take down the owlbear. Let me make sure. If they're within 1 tile of a monster, moves adjacent and attacks with an axe. Well, dwarven allies may be able to take down the owlbear. However, if I draw an encounter card that hits us on this tile, both of these allies could drop quickly because they only have 1 hit point each. So 2 figures is nice, 2 attacks is nice, but anything that happens to them, they're going to drop very fast. So let's hope that they can make it. We're going to move on. We've made our attack action. We still have a move action. I think we need to explore, so at least we'll have a chance, some chance, not to draw an encounter card. We can hope. So as our move action, we're going to move the wizard eye down and explore 1 more in this direction. Alright, that finishes the hero phase, exploration phase. We can explore with the wizard eye this direction. Let's draw our next tile. I think we found it. This is the Dire Chamber entrance. It's been a while since I've done anything like this, so I need to check the rules again for setting up the chamber. But let's get started. I think we found our destination. Alright, I'm going to talk my way through this here. It says, when we reveal the Dire Chamber, we draw and place the tiles labeled Dire Chamber next to each unexplored edge, and they form this mysterious chamber. So let's get those out. The unexplored edges, we have 3, but we have 5 tiles. So it says draw. So let's draw the first one, Dire Chamber. Let's put it up here. Let's draw the next one, Dire Chamber. We'll put that this way. And then Dire Chamber. We'll put that one down here to the bottom. Well, here is our chamber. Well, now you're supposed to randomly draw one of these chamber cards. But I looked through them, and just to fit the theme of my game today, just for the fun of it, since this is an experiment, let's go with the Orc Clan Lair, since we're using this Orc expansion pack. And let's get this Orc Storm Shaman out there. Well, it said we get to place this this shaman on any chamber tile, so let's just put him down here, kind of facing the entrance. And then it says, starting with the active hero, each player draws a monster card, and if it's not an animal or an orc, we discard it and draw again, but we only draw 1 more time. So discard once and draw again. And our goal is to destroy the Orc Shaman. Here he is, 7 HP, and he's got some windstorm and lightning attacks. So I've never fought him before, so it'll be interesting to see how this works. But first we need to draw some monsters. Alright, we've got our monster cards. The hero that's active right now is the wizard. So let's draw and see if we get an orc or an animal. No, it's a kobold dragon shield. This is a reptile. So we discard once, it says. I think that's right. Discard once and draw again. So what do we have? You know, this card looks a little shinier. I think this is one of the new cards. Oh boy. Copper Dragon. This is from the hero pack. We've got a dragon in here with the Orc Shaman. Uh-oh. Let's get his figure. Well, here is our Copper Dragon. And I would say, I don't know, let's put him up here, ready to ambush anyone that comes in. So a dragon and a shaman. What's next? I think, you know, technically it would go to the paladin to draw monster cards next. Alright, the paladin draws our friends the Legion Devils. But no, that is not an animal and it's not an orc. So that's a no. We discard once and draw again. Wereboar. This has got to be, yep, this is one of the new ones. You've probably seen that you've probably seen in here that I've carefully shuffled these new expansion cards in about once every 2 or 3 cards, just so I would have a good mix. And that's certainly coming true now. This is both an animal and an orc. It's a wereboar. So let's get this one out. This is a horrible chamber, isn't it? Well, here is the wereboar figure. And we'll put it down here. So the dragon, that was with the wizard, and the wereboar, that goes into the paladin's stack. Well, interesting. So we've got this chamber, and it is the dire chamber, the mysterious chamber, with the orc shaman, the copper dragon, and the wereboar all waiting inside. Well, let's continue on then. Where were we? We had just done the exploration phase. Well, we're actually going to go back down to the chamber and see what this orc shaman will do. I think it's going to act at step 2, and then the allies will go just before the monsters and traps at step 3. It says if he's within 1 tile, no. Moves 1 tile towards the closest hero. That's easy enough. So he's just going to move down here and perhaps giving our wizard eye a look over and saying, what is that? And let's keep going. Now we're down here. Let's hope that our dwarven allies can save the day and drop this owlbear. Allies attack. +5 to the attack roll. Trying to hit the owlbear, who has an armor class of 14. Let's see if we can do this. Ally number 1 gets a 20. Excellent. Hits the owlbear. The owlbear is slain. Very nice. Very nice. Glad that that was done. We get the owlbear card, which is worth 4 experience points. Let's immediately spend 5 of those experience points. And let's level up our wizard. So yes, that was an attack roll made by an ally, but I'm going to allow it that works for the hero that controls those allies. So let's level up our wizard heading into this big battle here. Going up a level, level 2. That helped out our armor class and our hit points a little bit. Let's see. I think this is true for both, yeah, for both the paladin and the wizard. Critical hit. If we roll a 20, we do +1 damage. And we get to choose 1 more daily power for the wizard. I think we're going to add this spectral ram so that perhaps we can knock some of these bad guys back down the hallway away from us. So there we go, added to the wizard's Well, remember, stack. We still have 1 more dwarven ally that gets to take an action. If the dwarven defender is within 1 tile of a monster, he's not. Otherwise, the dwarven defender moves 1 tile towards the hero that controls him. And that's it. So they're just going to stay there with the wizard. But let's draw that treasure card. We just defeated the owlbear. We've drawn Thieves' Tools. Well, +4 to disable traps. I don't know. It could come in handy later. Let's, I don't know. Let's give it to the paladin. I know he's going to have to go through, or she's going to have to go through a trapped room if she's going to join the wizard down here. Okay, it is now monster time. And it looks like our copper dragon has awoken. If the copper dragon is within 1 tile, no. Within 2 tiles, no. Otherwise, the copper dragon moves 1 tile towards the closest hero. After the move, pass this card. Alright, so getting some bad news here. Move the dragon and then pass the card over to the paladin. Well, I think copper dragons, if I remember, are not really the most evil of dragons. I think they were actually chaotic good, if you know your Dungeons and Dragons. But perhaps this guy's been corrupted by the orc storm shaman. So he's got this copper dragon as a pet or an ally. And I think that's it. I think we just move the dragon 1 tile towards us, and I think that's going to do it. Well, that was a turn. Our paladin's up there in the corner, cursed, and far away from her friends down here. And a mysterious chamber here full of all kinds of nastiness. So please join me for the next turn. It's getting more and more exciting.